So what the heck do I do with loose leaf tea anyway? If you have ever purchased tea like this, where you could see it's not in a bag, it's just tea, you may be thinking, what the heck do I do with this? Now, you guys may have not seen me on YouTube recently because I've been busy launching my tea business. And let me tell you, I'm having so much fun at putting together different flavors and talking with people about what kind of tea they really would love to drink. Now, I've had a couple conversations this week with people, and their main comment is, Victoria, what the heck do I do with this? This is my new tea called Absolutely Gorgeous Skin Loving Tea, and I'm gonna show you how to make tea. This is so simplistic, and if you're British, you're like, what is this girl talking about? But let me tell you, Americans like tea bags. Americans like to drink tea that's already in a bag that's of convenience. But let me tell you, tea bags are actually really gross. The tea bag is actually the most toxic part of your tea. So the paper tea bags have an ingredient in them, it's a carcinogen, that helps the paper not to disintegrate. Because if regular paper gets wet, what does it do? It gets all nasty and soggy and starts to disintegrate, right? So the same thing happens with the tea bag. So in order to make sure it doesn't do that, it actually has this ingredient in it. So while you think you're buying this fantastic organic tea, you're actually drinking something that's not so great. And you know those tea bags are kind of silky and they like look all fancy? Well, let me tell you, those are made from plastic. So you're heating up plastic and then you're drinking plastic. Fan-friggin-tastic, right? So that's one of the reasons why I switched to loose leaf tea a while ago. I decided I'm sick of paying a bunch of money for organic tea, and especially to get 10 tea bags, it gets really expensive. You also don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelf. If you purchase from a smaller organization like my company, I can guarantee I haven't had the herbs and plants on my shelf for 2 or 3 years. It's just small batch ordering, right? So these are some reasons why you should purchase loose leaf tea, but let's talk about how exactly we're gonna do it, all right? So we obviously need to steep the leaves of the tea in water. My son likes to call tea leaf water, which is exactly what it is, right? So we're gonna be taking, like this is my hibiscus tea. So this is hibiscus, orange peel, and lavender. We're gonna be steeping this in water. The big question is, how do I make sure I'm not drinking this, but I'm drinking the tea? So you're gonna need some kind of a tea filter, but I'm gonna show you a couple different options that you can do. Most of these are on my website, or there's a link to them on my website, and so it'll be easy peasy for you. First of all, how much tea do you actually use? It depends upon how much you're gonna drink. If you are gonna drink just a cup, and for me, a cup is about this size. This is about 15 ounces. Like, I like big mugs and I cannot lie, okay, my friends? So if I'm gonna drink something this size, in between a teaspoon and a tablespoon. And if you don't know what that is, go look in your kitchen and grab the teaspoon and you'll see how much it is. It's really not very much tea. And it depends on if you like your tea weak or strong. That's a total preference, right? So I'm gonna take you through a couple different options. So having some sort of strainer or pitcher with a strainer on it is really helpful. Okay, this little doodad is super helpful, and this is the smallest size I think it comes in. I got it on Amazon. The strainer is in the lid. So literally, you just put your tea leaves in here and put hot water in, and boom, that's it, you got your tea. The only downside to this is most tea does not need to be strained all day, okay? So if you want something where you're gonna be using this pitcher as a distribution source for your tea, maybe this isn't the thing for you, okay? So I like to brew a lot of hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea is one of my favorites. So I'll brew it in here, and you can transfer it to another container, like this is a quart-sized jar. You could put it in here, and then from there keep it in your fridge or whatever you're gonna do with your tea. Another option is a metal strainer. So this is, a link to this is on my website too. These are by a company called 4Life. I like these. So here is a mug. Here's your tea strainer. Boom. Okay, this one is a little wonky on this mug because of the shape of the mug, but you see what I mean. We're gonna pour the tea right over here and just let it steep for a minute, okay? Here's another example of this. This again is 4Life. You can find this on fortunacucina.com under my favorites. And you see you have this tea strainer. Wait a couple of minutes. You're gonna see how strong the tea is and you're gonna go, bingo, okay, take the strainer out. I find it's really helpful to have something like this. These are actually, I can't remember what they were called. They were like, not ramekins. Oh, prep bowls, mini prep bowls. I got these at TJ Maxx. It was like $1 for a set of 5 or something like that. So, and then another option is, this is a tea strainer that I have on my website. You can get it either with a little crystal that's down here or without the crystal. So what you do is you put the tea in here and then you put this thing on top, okay? It's a twisty, so you twist it to close. And there's one thing I want to tell you about all of these strainers, okay? And that is that if you have tea that has a lot of small particles, if you do not shake your tea strainer, you will get leaves in your tea. Now, like I said, my youngest son calls it leaf water, but I don't like leaf particles in my tea, okay? And sometimes I fish them out with a spoon. So all you have to do is this. Take this, go over to your kitchen sink. After you put your tea in here, shake it for just a second, and you'll see if any particles come out. So what I do is I'll shake it, and then when it looks like it doesn't have any particles coming out of the strainer, I know I'm good to go. So this is a little pro tip for you, because I don't know how many people actually do this, but this is what I do, because I just want the tea, I don't want the leaf part, okay? Another option is something like this. Okay, this contraption, my husband got this on Amazon. I think it's cool. Like if you're gonna do iced tea, sun tea, and you want it to be outside, or if you're on the go. 2 things to note about this. Well, maybe 3, okay? First of all, do not fill this tea strainer up. No. For 1 quart jar, you probably need 1 tablespoon of tea, and that's it, okay? We don't need to fill this up ever. So you could use something not even this size for a quart jar. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, once your tea has stopped, is at the point that you like it. So you're gonna look at it and you're gonna go, oh, that mint tea is really dark, or that hibiscus tea is really red. Boom, you need to take this thing out, because we don't strain our tea all day. We just don't, okay? So that's one thing I want to note about these that I really don't love. First of all, it's huge. You don't need a strainer that big. And secondly, we're not straining. We're not like letting our tea steep all day. I have these included with a tea sampler. So if you want to try a couple different kinds of tea, you're all set. You already have this doodad. Again, if you go to fortunacucina.com, you can either buy a tea strainer like this from me, or you can get a link to Amazon to some of these other products that I do like this little doodad. If you're making more than 1 cup, like for you and a friend, this may be a good alternative for you. And then you just leave the leaves in here with the empty carafe. And then if you want to brew once more, you can go ahead and do that. I would not leave any leaves in your tea strainer overnight or for more than a day. Like, this is tea. This is not like super expensive, people. We can throw out the tea and like, you know, get a new cup the next day. I thought I would mention that because I know a lot of people are like, I know someone who recycles their coffee and has yesterday's coffee or whatever. I've always thought that was gross. If that is you, you do you, boo. Okay, I love you anyway. You go ahead and you do you. But tea is not, it's not gonna bust the bank. We can go ahead and use fresh tea. This is my demo today. I wanted to make sure you all knew how to do this because I've had so many questions, and I can remember being at a farmer's market and going, wow, that tea sounds amazing, but oh, it's loose leaf. I don't do that. And I feel like I missed out on a lot of really flavorful teas at a lot of places that were really like great artisanal tea makers, because I didn't get that bagging tea, first of all, is very costly, and secondly, like, it's not great for you. If I'm buying something organic, just give me the thing and don't give me something that's gonna poison me with my organic tea. You feel me? Oh my gosh, one thing I forgot to mention, this is important. If you are a tea drinker and you're wanting to upgrade your tea game and you are wanting to get into loose leaf tea, you need a tea kettle. Now, you can get many different tea kettles. This one is a Kosari. I really like this, and let me show you why. Hey, come closer, let me show you. Okay, so it has all these buttons on here, and I don't use all of these. I actually just use this one, which is the green one. And as you can tell, I've worn out my tea kettle, and it shows hold temp now whenever I press any buttons. I don't care, am I throwing it out? No, I'm not, because that's just how I am. And so you can do green tea, oolong, coffee, boil black. And this My Brew thing is a custom deal that you can use with your phone, hold temp, and cancel. And I feel like the tea kettle's a little bit on the fancy side. It was not super expensive. My husband got it for me, and at the time I was like, I don't need a tea kettle. But let me tell you, if you're microwaving your tea, first of all, is that good for your tea? I don't know. Should we be even using a microwave? I think about these things. And secondly, no. Let's just like have an efficient system, and that's the tea kettle. So this is not expensive or difficult or anything like that. You could probably find a tea kettle on Amazon for 20 bucks. I would get a tea kettle if that's your deal, if you're into tea. And I saw something on Instagram the other day that like only Americans microwave their water. Like everybody else uses a tea kettle. So this is the most efficient way. Don't forget to filter your water, because most municipal water is crap. Okay, I don't know if you read this. Most municipal water has forever chemicals in it. Isn't that fantastic? If you need a recommendation on a water filter, comment below and I will let you know. And again, I'm like not getting paid for that, but I want everyone to have good filtered water, and that contributes to the taste of your tea as well. Okay friends, that's it for me today. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please click like and click subscribe. I know I haven't been on YouTube a whole lot lately. It's because I've been launching my tea business. I've been really busy with that. So I'm gonna be posting more recipes. I've been doing so many yummy things here in my kitchen. One project that I have for this weekend is making candied ginger. This is one of my favorite things ever, especially if you're not feeling good. Like, it helps your tummy. That's great. So I hope to have all of those new recipes up on YouTube soon. All right, friends, I'm sending you some love today, and I hope that you enjoy your tea. Don't forget to send this to a friend who you think needs to know this information. Take care.